It's a very nice, though rather breezy and still slightly cool April day. And I'm here at a little area of woodland called Hannah Park Wood, just south of the town of Worksop. Worksop's, well, it starts only about 100 yards down this road here, but it's a small triangular section of woodland with main road on the left over there, and then there's minor road running into the town on my right. But it's a cracking little spot and one of those places that I always seem to think could pay off by a quick visit. It's popular with dog walkers popping up from just out of the town, gives the dogs some exercise. And this is pretty much how it is. It's predominantly beech, but there's some lime here and some oaks. And the feature about these trees, they're all very mature and all very tall. It's a cracking little spot, and I've come here primarily because the weather's going to change today. It's nice as it is now, but as the day goes on, there's a frontal system coming in from the southwest. That's going to bring with it wind and rain, probably for the next couple of days. So it's collecting sample time, but I'll have a quick walk round and show you Hannah Park Wood. It's as nice a bit of beech woodland as we have in Nottinghamshire, and it's certainly the most mature bit of beech woodland, or the largest bit of mature beech woodland that I know of in Nottinghamshire. I dare say there's little places tucked away on some of the big estates like Welbeck and Thoresby estates, and probably also deep in the midst of Clumber Park. But this is accessible, easily accessible. There's a little car park. You can walk around this quite leisurely in a quarter of an hour, very easily. And it is undulating, it slopes down. You can just see the start of the slope down to the left of the screen. And it does stand very high over Worksop. Well, that's the view looking north over to Worksop. It's surprising actually just how high this point is, and it's pretty much on an outcrop of sandstone, and the sandstone was cut away to create the road into Worksop on the left of shot from here. So there's very little topsoil to this site, and as a consequence the ground flora is about as rich as you can see now. There are patches of poor grass and moss, and towards the centre of Hannah Park Wood there's an area of bramble, but it's all quite weak and spindly. But what I've come here, or one of the species I've come here to look for, is the Harvestman Platybunus pinetorum. Not found it yet, but it's very likely habitat. But today, samples taken from the base of trees may reveal something far more interesting and rare. And I'm looking for a partially dead beech amongst all this lot, and there's one just probably about the first one in from the left of the screen. There's some fungi growing on that. The centre of the tree is obviously partially dead, so we'll go and investigate that and see if there's any scrapings up at the base of the tree which might yield something later on. I'm taking samples from the base of trees where the central part of the tree is obviously dying. Has paid dividends, certainly at Cuckney. Some terrific species from Cuckney, and under a similar kind of situation to this. But where you get fungi and access to the centre of the tree, there's an accumulation of beech mast, or preferably leaf litter and dry leaf litter. It seems to be a waste of time searching through wet leaf litter. Certainly never found anything myself. Dry litter's always been better. Hopefully we might get a false scorpion in amongst this lot, and I've been able to collect some material from this. This looks quite promising. Cracking old tree. Would have been tall as the tallest trees here at one time of day, and when I first saw it I thought it might have been pine, but it's not. Still can't tell from the bark, because the bark's been infected by fungi over the years. A lot of it's rotted off, and even where you can almost see the bark, or the form of the bark underneath, still difficult to tell, but I suspect that it was either sweet chestnut or possibly oak. But you may well have noticed that there's quite a lot of yew here. There's more so nearer the car park, to the other side of the car park, and there's a really attractive bright green spider that's found here. You need to beat it off the lower branches of yew, and it's Dioides dorsata. It's a cracking thing, and Dillis and I turned up quite a number of records of Dioides dorsata purely by beating. It's the only way you can find it, really, to be honest. Always on yew, but it's certainly prevalent around the Worksop area and Clumber Park, if I remember right. Very nice here, sheltered from the breeze. There's a few silver birches here as well, which are just starting to come into leaves, so that's provided a nice bit of greenery on what really is a very nice spring day now. It's a really nice spot, this. It's one of them sites that's always worth popping into if you're into invertebrates. And I found a few little bits today. To be honest, I've not looked a great deal. I've come here primarily to collect some material, but I have found Hapothalmus danicus, which is one of the very small, cream-coloured, very tiny wood lice, and I'm sure that's new. A few other bits as well. I tend to make mental notes. Occasionally I'll take a quick photograph as a snapshot just to remind me when I upload the photos onto the computer. There's a lot here. It just needs finding. Almost back towards the car park now. It's a little car park, perfectly safe to park here in the day. I think it might be one of those places that isn't too safe on a night time, but during the day it's fine. There's a lot of people come here since, well, I got here. I think mine was the second car here, but it's been worthwhile coming here today. So just one of the little places to pop in. Have found a nice record. It might be a first record here actually of the centipede Lithobius variegatus, which is an absolute stonker of a beast. And even though they're often quite slow to take off, it was still quicker to take off than I was to get the camera out. So that's why you've got a photo of Lithobius variegatus. That's an easily identified Lithobius, probably the easiest, to be honest. But we've had a little taster. We continue my last little bit of this walk onto the roadside and see if there's anything just there in the sunshine. But The cloud is starting to build. There's some high cloud appearing, so the front is on its way. Well, it's a few days after I took the samples to carrier bags full of leaf litter from the base of trees like this old beech here at Hannah Park Wood. I sorted through them, and I'll tell you the best bits in a minute, but just a reminder, it is good standard practice that if you remove material to take home and sort, you need to bring it back to the same spot and the same site as where you took it from. That way you're not reintroducing or introducing anything to where it doesn't occur naturally. But in the 2 carry bag samples I found, there were in fact 2 species of false scorpion, and that's something that really pleased me. First time I've ever had 2 species of false scorpion from the same site on the same day, and they included a single Sithonius isnocelles and 5 Neobicium carcinoides, which is the larger of the 2 species. Finding false scorpion after false scorpion in handfuls of leaf litter was quite something. The other notable thing, not particularly uncommon, but an absolute stonker of a weevil. It was Platyrhinus resinosus, and the one that turned up was quite playful and quite amiable as well, and happy to be photographed. So you're probably seeing a couple of nice photographs of this stunning weevil. Really is a beautifully marked species, often found near ash and beech. So they were the highlights among lots of spiders of various sorts. Time to re-release the insects and invertebrates that are in here. Job done. So, a successful visit. 2 false scorpion records. The first one's for Hannah Park Wood here. In the first record, a Platyrhinus resinosus, as far as I'm aware. On to the next site. I do like this sorting of material. It's a great way to pass on an evening.